TYFU.
Are we ready, kids?
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm so glad that you didn't leave me hanging there. It would be so awkward. How the heck are you?
Oh, good. Again, we're kind of like recording a little bit outside our normal schedule.
Why are we so busy?
You got a lot going on. I got a lot going on.
We're just busy women. Mm-hmm. Busy
Occasionally,
woman.
Kelly has something going on.
Have you heard the Sabrina Carpenter song, Busy Woman?
No?
Oh, well, we'll feature it in this episode. I'm sure we can cover the rights to that.
Yeah, I'm totally out of the loop when it comes to modern pop culture.
Again, because you're a busy woman.
Yeah. And also because I was born in the 19th century.
That's true. I did tell you some of your lingo was out of date. Exactly 15 minutes ago.
You're like, no one says that, Beth. No one says that.
I'm out of date too, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, listen, you want to get into an episode? You got it today in retail.
I don't necessarily. We should probably get around to an episode. I don't necessarily have today in retail, but just stuff going on at the shop. We had this big event happening at our Rochester location.
We did an episode on events.
Yes. And so everyone knows I am medium on events.
Lukewarm.
And this particular event is one of the bigger events of the year for the South Wedge, where our Rochester store is located. And the neighborhood puts it on, and I'm always a little leery. We try to make it a fun day without putting too much effort into it, just in case it's a bust. And the day that it falls on is a day every summer that I cannot be present.
Oh, why?
I have other obligations.
Oh, you're a busy woman.
Because I'm a busy woman. Hashtag Sabrina Carpenter. And there's no way I can be there. It's like an all-day commitment, whether it's a family thing, whether it's a community volunteer thing that I said yes to weeks ago. Like, whatever it is, I can't be there. And this is now the third year running that I just have to say, good luck, team, and let them fly and spread their wings.
Mm-hmm. How'd that go?
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Nothing ever goes wrong.
So this is a non-story?
It's a non-story because all I do is stress about it leading up to it and being like, okay, we have this. Okay, this person's going to be here. You're going to be fully staffed. It's going to be a madhouse. We have this. We post about it. And I'm always a little worried because we're a little bit understaffed because I'm not there. Mm-hmm. And then everything's fine. Mm-hmm. Everything's fine. And I'm neurotically checking the numbers because I'm not there. Mm-hmm. And I literally texted my manager there. We'd been open for 40 minutes. And I was like, look slow. Do you think they even advertised this event? And she is
Maybe they
great.
should put you in charge, Marilla.
Yeah, as if I want that job. No way. And, she's like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's been fine and all is well. And I just had to trust her, and we ended up having a great day, and they handled it smoothly, and everyone enjoyed themselves except for me.
Yeah.
Far away.
Well, I'm taking heart from your non-story because I'm very worried this week and stressed out about events I have on the horizon because we're working on the expansion.
Yes.
And I have 100,000 things to do before the movers come on Friday.
On Friday.
Right, as the movers for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
And everything is getting rearranged, and I'm trying to make a game plan. Like, first they're going to move this. It's like domino.
Yes. It's
what's
like
the analogy?
Tetris.
Okay, right. And you can't put one thing in place
Not
until you knew
Tetris.
It's not dominoes.
Not dominoes.
Rummy 500. I don't know what it's like. It's chaotic in my brain.
Right.
And I need to paint a room and Sparrow, a star employee, is leaving for college
As
this week.
she should.
My sister Allison, a star employee, just decided to go on vacation.
How rude.
This week. And then Chelsea is going to be leaving us, unfortunately.
Oh.
She's moving on to a floral job, which is really where her passion
She is a
lie.
florist.
Yeah, she's
by trade.
by
right?
trade.
Yeah.
Mhm. So she's
Well,
got
that
herself
sucks.
a nice gig. I know. I know.
Isn't it the worst when you have an employee that you like, or even that you don't like? Maybe we like you, Chelsea. But isn't it the worst when you have an employee find an opportunity that's just
Perfectly suited for them.
perfectly suited for them and a better place and like the best thing for this next season of their life, and you have to be like, oh my god, I'm so
happy for you.
That's so perfect for you. Ugh. It's the worst.
Okay, Chelsea, we really are happy for you. I
Yeah,
know-
we are.
Yes,
But we hate that we have to say that
right.
because we want to just pout about you leaving.
Yeah. Well, I'll do that in private, not on the podcast. I'll do it in
Right.
private because I don't want to give Chelsea a big guilt trip for,
Well, right. That's the thing. And you
Yeah.
never would because you're the boss and
Yeah.
you're going to be a leader and positive, and you are happy for her genuinely.
Yes. And if I was her friend or her sibling and not her boss, I'd be like, this is 100% what you should do.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. But you still have to acknowledge the part of you that is,
You know, wants to say like Crapsville, Chelsea.
yeah. Womp womp. Thumbs down.
Anyway, I will be- yeah.
we wish you well, Chelsea. We love you, and we can't wait to see your floral arrangements.
Yes. So much going on with so little.
So much on your shoulders. And
Yeah.
but here's the thing. Here is the thing. As we come up, we're also coming up on my anniversary shindig that we do every year at the store, where I famously locked everyone out at a ribbon cutting.
I remember I heard about it on TYFU.
Yeah, you also probably heard about it in the local news that was there.
Actually, everybody was talking about it. So I heard about it from several places.
Yeah. But as we creep up to the anniversary of one of the most mortifying moments of my life, I'm just going to say, take it from future Marilla, that even if everything goes wrong,
It'll still be fine.
it still actually stands out in my mind as a very wonderful day.
For our new listeners, I think that episode was the stuff of nightmares.
Oh my
I
God.
think
Yeah. I
that's
just got
what
a
we
pit in
titled
my
it.
stomach. Just saying that because it literally was. But on the flip side, it was also an extremely edifying and encouraging and beautiful day for me and the team and our business. So I'm not going to tell you not to stress.
No, in my new store, I know ultimately is going to kick ass.
Right.
I really believe it, or I wouldn't
And
be doing
everyone's
it.
so excited for you
Yes.
too. And with that excitement comes a lot of forgiveness. And
I hope.
Yeah,
I hope.
it does. I locked everone out
Yeah.
for an hour.
And I might have to close for a minute
You might.
during my regular open hours to
You
make
just
this
might.
happen. And no doubt that's going to upset
Of course.
some
of
people.
course.
But
yeah, there's a lot of understanding customers that we have the privilege to know. And I think they outweigh the people that will be annoyed when they go to pull on your door and it's closed that one day
They're
that
out
you
there.
have to close.
they're out there. I'm ready. And you know that the sign I put on my door when we're closed, when we should be open, is going to say, thank you for understanding.
Absolutely. That's right. And then in little text, it'll be like, also listen to our podcast. It's going to be fine.
Yes.
It's going to be fine, Beth.
Yes.
You're crushing it.
I hope so. I'm trying. I'm trying.
You will.
Anyways,
Anyways.
no today's in retail like horrible customer stories, but
No,
we at
just
least
that we're drowning. And,
Yes.
you know. Just that we're drowning. It's that midsummer too. Like I feel like midsummer is always a weird time in retail.
You know, at this time of year, actually, it's we're closing in on the end of summer. Really, I mean, school starts pretty
Stop
soon. Maybe
that.
by the
I'm
time
not
this
talking to
episode
you about
drops,
the end
it
of
will
summer.
have started. But, squirrels get squirrely at this time of year. You ever notice the squirrels start acting really panicked and stressed
one almost
and
dropped on my head yesterday.
That's how I feel right now. Is
Interesting. Squirrel energy.
Squirrely.
Yeah, squirrely, quite literally. Yeah, it's a weird time of year for retail, at least around here. I'm not acknowledging that summer is done until September 21st, but it's just a strange time of year. It feels like the momentum of, it's nice out, has given way to everybody's making time for their own summer plans. And retail slips and slides a little bit before the holidays. And you got to just fill some time sometimes.
Yeah, September does tend to be a dip in my numbers for sure.
Yeah. We got spanked last September. Well, and it wasn't
not in a good way.
Not in a fun way. So we're hoping for a fun spanking this September.
It could go that way.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's what's happening today in retail here at Thank You for Understanding.
Yeah. Well, how about we pop right into an episode at this point? You ready?
Rip
for
the envelope. It's right there in front of you.
Is it me?
It's actually in front of you. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. Okay. This ought to be a fun topic. I'm looking forward to it. The topic this week is competition.
I'm famously not competitive. Do you believe
that is
me,
the first lie of this episode?
Okay, let's get into it. Competition. Are we talking personal? Are we talking strictly store? Are we talking...
Well, since we can't really separate us from our businesses
in an unhealthy way, yeah.
Yeah, right. I think we're talking about both. If you're a personally competitive, individual, that's bound to reflect in the decisions and the strategies that you make for your business.
Do you think it gives you an edge if you're a personally competitive person to have a store?
I'm going to say yes.
Do you consider yourself a personally competitive person, Ben? I've already lied on this episode. Are you going to do it too?
I think I'm pretty competitive. I do.
I think you are.
Do you agree with that? I mean, it's hard to look at yourself honestly sometimes, but I feel in my soul like I might be a little competitive.
I would agree 1,000%. I would say, although I tend to be a little bit of the more confrontational between the two of us, I think you're more competitive than I am.
Okay.
I think you are. And I think it gives you an edge in some ways.
Do you think it's healthy or unhealthy? You can tell me honestly.
I think sometimes it's healthy and sometimes it's unhealthy.
I'm here for it.
All right. We're going to unpack as we go. I think it's healthy in the sense that you are always on the cusp of the next thing and improving. Whereas sometimes when I'm not feeling my most competitive, I can just I'm pretty happy just opening up, running the clock, doing my thing, closing. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. I don't want to say that I don't like to try. I like to try and bring effort to my business every day, but I don't necessarily feel that kick to just keep going. I'm not always competitive with myself, and I think you can be competitive with yourself.
That's
which
true.
I think is good.
Although, if it's rooted in a deep sense of insecurity and fear of failure.
Now we're wading into the unhealthy parts.
Here we are. It's TYFU. Let's just go for it.
Rooting deep into our psyches.
I mean, I think we're not going to be able to figure it all out in the course of this episode.
What's healthy. I think we will.
I sometimes think that it's my fear of failure that makes me competitive. It's not necessarily a healthy striving for success.
Right.
It's driven by insecurity.
I think that's one of the drivers of competition and competitiveness. I mean, I am married to someone like that. Only because I met him first, Beth. I'm sorry.
It's so often you're talking about Joe, and I'm like, wait, my psychic twin, Joe?
Beth is like, I'm right here. No, I think that sometimes that just like failing is bad. And that's not what you're supposed to do. So you got to do everything you can to not fail, to not fall short. If it's coming from an insecure place, I think it's gonna unravel. I think it unravels in a bad way. Or at least is not even satisfying if you do succeed sometimes, if you're not.
Oh, yeah, because I'm always on the looking up for the next failure.
Right.
So I don't pause to recognize the success. I'm trying to get better at that.
Right. And I think in business, that's really, really important. And I think I pause too long sometimes. I just sit in that bubble bath of I just sit there and I go, I did such a good job. And then I don't move forward as quickly as I should.
Let me give you a little example of something that happened to me recently.
Okay.
Finger Lakes Times, which is our local newspaper.
Which is a world-renowned publication.
Does, one of these Reader's Choice every year.
Yes.
I think no matter where you live, at least in this country, the United States of America, your local radio station, your local newspaper, somebody is running of these kind of Reader's Choice in your region.
This is such a good topic to bring up.
Okay, so I'm just going to say it right here on the podcast, for the last 5 years in a row, won Best Bookstore in the Finger Lakes.
Yep.
And this year, when the competition came around again, I'm like, what if I don't win?
Oh, my God.
The 6th year. Right? Because it's almost like having had that success, I'm like, what if suddenly I'm knocked off the
Like you wouldn't have cared. You wouldn't have cared if you ever got it. You would have just been like, oh, it's just
I'm
the
doing
stupid
my thing.
Newspaper thing. Who cares? It doesn't even mean anything. But now that you're literally king of the hill, you can't give up ground.
I feel like I can't. And so I was more panicked this year than I ever have been in the past about winning or not winning.
Do you think that's only going to get worse?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It's a curse.
Now, I would like to shout out to our neighbor across the street, Yvette at Earthly Possessions Boutique, who we've had on this show, the shoplifting episode. That woman consistently wins Best Gift Store in the Finger Lakes. Congratulations, Yvette. I'm really happy for you.
Like how many years in a row?
Oh, a million years.
Like a million years in a row.
Since the dawn of time.
Since the dawn of time.
You know who's a finalist? Stomping Grounds. Right across the street. Scratching and clawing, trying to take...
Barking at her heels. Barking at her heels.
So I'm trying to be happy for Yvette. Really, if I didn't have my own gift store, I'd probably vote for Yvette.
But in the gift shop world, you guys are competitors.
Jealous. Yes, she's my friend. I like her.
Yeah.
She's good at what she does.
Yeah.
And she deserves to win.
Right.
But I do feel a little bit competitive.
Even though you are Best Bookstore 6 years
both.
in a row.
I want both those titles.
We've created a monster.
The Finger Lakes Times has created a monster.
Has created a monster. Whereas, like, if I'm in it, okay.
Didn't you win one of these things lately?
You really did.
Yeah.
I did. And I don't even know if we talked about it. Kelly, producer, did we talk about this already on an episode? Oh, it's news. Okay. I have this obnoxious trait that is borderline toxic, especially in a relationship, of just turning my competitive nature off. I'll compete, and then I'll be like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can win.
What is that?
Right?
What is that?
Isn't that psychotic? And it's not. It's not. I mean, it's genuine. Like, I can turn it off, but it's from a psychotic place. It's a power play, and I know it is.
I want it too bad, and I don't want to look like I want it too bad.
If I turn it off, then you look like a fool because you want it so bad. Yeah.
Like, how cute. Oh, you won that award? How cute.
It's so bad. But anyway, this year, yes, we have all these little local, the best of the Finger Lakes, the best of the Finger Lakes 2.0. And I, through the years, have turned my nose up at these competitions because, one, I truly don't put that much weight in it, and two, like if I'm doing enough to keep my doors open, whatever, I don't really need that. But two, I'm never nominated, and that's rude, and so I choose to not care about it. And every now and again, when the Finger Lakes Times one comes out, I click through and I'm like, funny. No one nominated me. Cute and rude, but happy for Beth.
Then you go ahead and vote for Yvette as gift store.
Then I vote for Yvette for gift store and Beth is books, and I keep that feud going. And here's my one beef with this. Congratulations, by the way. But my beef with this is so many of these little community contests. You can nominate yourself, and then you can go and vote for yourself as many times as you want to. So if I had all the time in the world, or an uncle who had all the time in the world, I could just post somebody up and have them vote 100 times a day and probably win.
Yes.
And I'm sure some people do that, like Beth.
Well, I actually have thought about that myself. It's like I actually care, but not enough to visit the site every day and vote for myself.
Exactly.
And constantly, like I might send out a notice to my customers like, hey, we're up for this once.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Like I would like to be included, but I want to be included by someone else, not nominating myself. And I'm certainly not going to remember or take the time out of my busy day to go and vote for myself 18 times. I might not even vote for myself once. I don't know. I forget.
Some of these you can buy votes. Not the Finger Lakes Times one, but some of them top this or top that.
Probably.
You can literally
Canada. No.
Yeah.
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 Ithaca.
Sorry to all of our listeners in Ithaca,
Canada.
Yeah. Not you guys.
But anyway, some of them you can, like these national competitions that you're like, I'm the best this or that, the best dog groomer or whatever it is. And
you can just buy it. You can just pay
for them. Yeah.
Wow. I am learning about corruption every day. Wow. That's crazy. So to make a long story longer, I never nominate myself. There's a new contest in town, Finger Lakes Finest, and they approached me the first year they were doing it. They were like, you nominate yourself, you blah, 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 blah. I was like, that sounds lame. I'm not doing it. You could pay for advertising, which kind of boosts your chances.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm definitely not doing that. And I just, every year since, I've been like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. So this year, on a particularly busy day, this young sheepish man walks into my store, and I could tell immediately he wasn't going to buy anything.
Just selling.
I could just tell. And so I was busy at the time, multiple people in the store. I just called him out. I said, hey, what can I do for you? What do you need? And he goes, I'm from Finger Lakes Finest. And I was like, oh, I don't do that. So, blah, blah, blah. Have a great day. We're in the middle of doing business, blah, blah, blah. I'm shooing him out the door. And he's like, well, I mean, you won. And
and then you were gracious.
And I mean, I just cracked up. He pulls out a gold medal and an award. And I'm like, oh, all right, I will take that. I do accept this accolade. So I don't know who nominated me, but I feel really good about that award because I didn't nominate myself. I sure as shooting didn't vote for myself. And we won Best Health Food Store.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So that's how I like it.
I like these competitions because you wouldn't believe how many awards I've framed up for people.
I know.
I framed yours.
Yeah,
right,
I've never won
which was
anything
very
like this.
tasteful.
So I marched right down to Beth and I said, "You got any discount mats?" And broken frames.
Like, it's cheaper at Walmart, is what you said.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Michael's.
I'm gonna go to Michael's. They give you 40% off. And I got it framed, and it is sitting in the plaque or the frame. I don't even know what the piece of paper is in the Geneva location, and the gold medal is in the Rochester location. So yeah, here starts
So you
my
have
reign.
it on display.
I do have
for
it
your
on
customers
display,
to see.
even though it's kind of ugly.
Don't say that. We're going to have to edit that out. You can't. You can't.
No, I
You
whispered.
can't say that.
It's a little bit ugly. It doesn't go with my aesthetic.
Okay, that you can say.
All right. We'll sort
You
that
can
out
say
in
that
post.
it doesn't go with your aesthetic.
I'm just saying, like, if they, not that I want that job either, but if they called me, I could probably come up with a more aesthetic award.
All right. Well, I got to say that when I brought this topic up with Barrow at work earlier today, I sometimes do talk to the staff about the podcast recording topic.
Right.
So that they can maybe remind me of things
Good
that I might not
perspective.
think of myself. And so I said to Barrow, today we're going to record, Merle and I are going to record on competition. And Barrow said, "You mean like how you're competitors with each other?" And I was like, interesting. I thought we were friends.
But actually,
no.
we're enemies and competitors in addition.
Well, Barrow didn't say it
Barrow.
with that much drama. I added that. I don't want to misrepresent her, but, she did.
That's all right. She's not here. She's going to college in like 2 days.
Yes, but she did make a good point. Like, I suppose we are competitors with each other. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I can't say it hasn't crossed my mind, Beth.
Okay. You up at night thinking about it? Oh, nothing causes
keeps me
Marilla
up at night.
to lose sleep.
Yeah.
But
Never forget it.
you do think about it while you're awake.
I think about it while I'm awake, perhaps before I go to sleep. No, I think about it.
When you're polishing your weapons.
Think about when I'm loading my poison dart shooter, I'm ruminating about my competition. No, I do think about it. I'm conscious of it in a sense because I'll have. Okay, this is a good example. Last week, our resident candle maker, our beloved Haley, has a lot on her plate right now. And so we have not had her candles. And those are the only candles that we've carried because Haley used to work for us and they're great candles. But we have not had them in a while and people did love them. And I will get people asking, like last week, do you have any candles? Will you be getting any candles back? And lately I have been saying, I'm not sure. We'll see as we get closer to the holidays. But Stomping Grounds has great candles, and I try not to step on toes when there's great candles right around the corner. And I do send folks
Same as
your
greeting
way.
cards. You don't carry greeting cards.
I don't carry
You
greeting
send-
cards. I don't carry stationery, even though there's sustainable options that I could have. And maybe I will someday crush you, Beth. But, but I don't think about it often, but I guess I think about it in a practical sense like that. Like I could have those things, but we're already competing in a sense for some foot traffic and everybody has a finite amount of spending money. And so in a sense, we're competing. We sometimes see the same customers in a day, and they might spend more money at your shop than my shop or vice versa. There are certain items that I just feel like it's not necessary to cross over.
So I have some of that, especially now that I'm expanding and going to offer some like food items.
Right.
And something I want to think about is honey. but you have local honey.
I do.
From a local honey guy.
I do.
And if I bring in honey, I'm competing with you and our
local
friend,
honey
the
guy.
local honey guy.
He's a charming man.
Of course, he's wonderful.
And a listener. Hi, Connor.
I brought in coffee. You carry coffee.
You rat bastard.
I know. So there are things I think, I was going to get a certain brand of drink mixers, but I know that it's one that you carry at the holidays. So I specifically didn't buy that brand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I mean, I think of the same thing. Like, we actually both had drink mixes last Christmas.
And whose were better? The listener has to decide by buying one from
Mine
each of
had
us.
glitter in it.
I know. That freaks me out. So that was another reason. I don't need my pee looking funnier.
Yours were more holistic. But mine had more razzle dazzle.
But in any case, like, I think about what you have when I make decisions and if I know that somebody else downtown is carrying something, I try to stay away from that product. Oftentimes I'll just, walk right into it accidentally.
Well, right. I think the drink mixes are a good example. We didn't talk about that. We don't usually talk about our Christmas merchandising plans that much in advance. I mean, if we're particularly excited about something, sure, it might come up, but we don't really consult with one another at all. And so, that was just our brainwaves linking up and good marketing
Being
on the
part
drink.
of the zeitgeist is
And
what
being
we
a
are.
part of this, I was just going to say, big drink mix influencing us. And so, we both ended up with these drink mixes on our shelves. Similar prices, similar sizes, different brands. But so in that moment, we are directly in competition with each other for the drink mix people.
But I'll tell you why it's good. I mean, that's the downside, is maybe there's only so many drink mixes that any one consumer needs.
Maybe there's not, though.
So maybe we have tapped between the two of us. We've, tapped or overtapped the market.
Right.
But you know how people like to go to places where there's lots of little shops.
Yes.
Where are lots of little shops?
Yes.
So they can, hit 3, 4, 5, 10, a dozen little shops all in one little town. And so I truly believe the more little boutique retailers we have in our downtown, the better for all of us.
I would agree. And I think that, I don't know. I feel like it's not that serious. For every customer that comes into both of our stores, there are 10 customers that only shop with each of us respectively. And they're never going to see your drink mixes, and they're never going to see my drink mixes. Our customers are our customers in another sense. And so, when that happens, we might tease about it, but I don't have that feeling of like, oh my God, there goes my drink mix plans. Beth ruined it for me. I have to go hose down her sidewalk so she slips in the morning. I don't feel that way. I just think that there's when it's not intentional.
Well, we have seen some what appeared to be intentional.
This is a good lead-in.
All right.
See how I did that? Yeah.
Thanks.
I think the key is
done.
When it's not intentional, it doesn't feel threatening, and it doesn't feel as competitive.
Or personal.
Yes. Whereas
it's just business.
It's just
But
business.
it feels personal.
Right. And we can laugh about that. But when it's someone that you feel like just came into your store, took a bunch of pictures, and then put all the same things in their store, that feels ick.
It feels more than ick.
It feels targeted. It feels aggressive.
Yes.
It feels like a volleyball spike.
To the face.
To the face. Yeah. Because you've done all the work to research the item, and then they're like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to just get it. I'm like, but do you even know why you got it?
Right. To go back to your stationery example, if you were to get eco-friendly stationery, I think that would be awesome. Just for the record.
Thanks.
And I think that there are people who just really like your vibe and people who just really like my vibe.
Agreed.
And if there's not room for both of us, I really think, we got bigger problems. We
got bigger problems. And also, I think it's our responsibility. And this is why, even when it has come up when that someone directly reaches out to me and says,
tell me all your brands, give me all your contacts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It happens. It happens too often. But I can think of an instance with one particular product where someone reached out and said, I really want to put this product essentially right around the corner from you. Are you okay with that? That's an ugly spot to be because you don't want to be ugly in that moment, but you also don't want them to have the same exact thing that you have in your shop that you're talking up and marketing.
Because you and I spend so much time researching and carefully curating what's in our stores.
Yeah.
Really, like that's a good chunk of my
time
in a month. Yeah.
In a month, right. And then you decide, you bring it in, you spend a good chunk of time and energy marketing,
promoting
that new exciting thing that you just spent all this time researching. So then,
and all this money buying,
you
to
feel
put in your
like,
store.
and all this money buying. So then you feel like, okay, great. Even if that means more, let's say it means more sales from this wholesaler you love, and that's great for them. You feel like this person is just piggybacking off of your hard work. But on the flip side, I usually land at, here's what I think. If you have a store right next door to me and you want to put the same thing in it and you're asking what I think, of course we're in competition in that situation. But it's a free country and you can, whether I say yes or no, you can put them in your shop. I personally wouldn't advise it because I think that close without the research isn't the best business move, but it's not going to make or break me. It's more like for them.
Yeah, you're doing them a favor.
In a sense, which sounds like an asshole thing, but
let me do you a favor.
Yeah, let me give you a little trip. Let me give you a little tip. And that's kind of where it is, because it's like, without saying it out loud, it's like, if this is how you're discovering products and this is how you're merchandising your store, it's not super sustainable and it's not super you.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And so sometimes what helps me in that moment where I have that reaction, that like reaction when someone asks me that, sometimes it helps me to pull back and say, okay, if I was coaching this person in like a business strategy, I would say, okay, but why do you want this product? Is it reflecting you, or did you just like it in my store because I put all the work and energy into making it look awesome?
And does it look awesome in my store because it goes with the rest of everything else I'm doing?
Right.
Whereas if you're just kind of randomly picking and choosing from retailers that you like, it's not going to feel cohesive, and it's not going to feel like a solid, sturdy brand identity
or strategy.
Yes. Now, we talked about a lot of these points on our very first episode, which was the copycat episode.
Yeah, I was thinking about that
a lot.
Yeah.
Not it's so much in terms of competition, but more just like the emotional sense of, hey, I thought of that first.
Right.
And
for sure.
kind of feeling burned.
Yes.
Especially, say, if you're friends with the person. Like we are,
Right.
So careful, Marilla, because our friendship, I think, is more important.
is more important than stationery?
Yeah, but
right.
I truly do mean what I said. No, I truly do mean it. I think it would be awesome if you had stationery. I feel like it fits your brand, and I think that your customers would like it.
Yeah, I think someday it could happen if I have the space for it.
You have my permission.
Thank you. I'm so glad. But yeah, I don't know. I think that is a good rule of thumb, I guess, if you're thinking about competition and you're thinking about stepping on toes. You're trying to be conscious of that. I think even if it's like the same thing-ish, if it's true to your brand and it's true to your strategy, it's not going to be the same, and people won't.
I have something I want to talk about, and I want to talk about it very carefully because I don't want to reveal who I'm talking about. But I happen to know of 2 local businesses who carry very similar products, and they are apparently in rivalry with each other. And I'm trying to think up what they might do that's not real. Let's see here. They're both
Juggling supply stores.
They're both juggling supply stores. As a matter of fact.
We love those places.
Right.
Right.
And they're located close to each other.
Okay.
And the owners know each other.
Know each other, like know of each other? Do you know if the owners have like this relationship? Do they have a relationship? Are they
I don't know
nemesis?
the extent of their relationship, but I know they have history.
Okay.
And they are not
romantic
friendly.
history.
They're
not friendly. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. All right. I love setting the scene.
Now, I don't know how much of this we can leave in, honestly.
Okay.
But
Keep digging. Keep digging.
Right. I follow both of these juggling supply stores on Instagram.
Okay.
And one of the juggling supply stores is always talking about how crappy the other juggling supply store is.
Oh.
So we'll call them Clowns Are Us and Juggling is Fun.
Yes.
Okay. So Clowns Are Us is always talking about how crappy Juggling is Fun is.
Yes.
And Juggling is Fun just pretends that Clowns Are Us doesn't even exist. And they both have their strategies to deal with the fact that they're in competition.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, okay, all right. This was kind of leading, we are just riffing, Beth. We're riffing. This is leading into the next thing that I was gonna actually bring up. You know, what's appropriate when you're in true blue competition? You're the same thing. You don't even really like each other. You think that each one thinks that they do it better. Mm-hmm. What's appropriate? Where's the line? Like, I don't know how I feel. I know when I see clowns. what did we name these? Clowns are Us, and Juggling is Fun. I know that when I see Clowns Are Us throw shade, it makes me feel some type of way. I'm always like, oh, clowns. Spicy. But at the same time, going back to my it's a free country mentality, like, you can say that if you think you're better and you think that they're not giving a good product. They're not giving you the right balls. I mean, there's no law that says you can't point that out.
Share your opinion.
Mm-hmm. I'm obviously not saying go and like start yourself a defamation suit, but like to a point, you can say that. Mm-hmm. You're allowed. But I don't take that tact.
No. I feel very Michelle Obama about this. Like she says something like,
hit me up with.
I'm not sure I have this correct. When they go low, we go high.
Oh,
did she say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Michelle. Please come on our podcast. Yeah, I absolutely try to take that mentality. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I agree with the business throwing shade.
What, that juggling is fun is terrible?
Sometimes I might agree. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm kind of veering away from the juggling stores, but I mean,
just generally speaking.
Just generally speaking, yeah. Generally speaking, I might agree that Wendy's burger is way better than.
I don't know. When I see one business trash their direct competition, I just feel like it's tacky. It's gauche.
It's gauche.
To use one of our favorite words. I don't like it. I feel like it cheapens you. It cheapens your own brand when you talk crap about the competitor.
I agree.
At least publicly. I certainly have been known to talk some crap.
What?
Yes. But not publicly.
You. Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same camp. I don't always feel quite at home in the we're all gonna hold hands with all our competitors and like kumbaya and like.
Actually, the listener has probably already discovered a hypocrisy here.
I know.
Because I have trashed Amazon.
Yeah.
In fact, I won't even say their name.
Well, quite literally, we have a sound effect that indicates when we are speaking.
I would say they're a competitor.
Yeah.
And I talk smack about them.
I believe you've talked smack about Michael's.
I believe I have.
If I hearken back.
Oh, yes, they're also a competitor. So, gosh, what a liar. But,
yeah. I talked a little smack. Here, I'll join you. I am the best health food store in the Finger Lakes.
Yes.
As shown by
and the world, as
award.
far as I'm concerned, Marilla.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. We have a lot of health food store listeners, don't we?
Yeah,
sorry,
we do.
guys.
Well, we're a refill shop, but it's nice to be included. But the store that has won it every single year since they started is Sodders.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't always think of Sodders as a competitor until they win, and I don't.
Like for our listeners farther afield, do you want to say who Sodders is?
Sodders is a big mega Mennonite mart. So it's got veggies and fruits and candies and homemade pancake mix. And it's owned by this big Mennonite family. And they have just grown this business to something.
People come from
really incredible. People come from far away to visit. You can get a Adirondack chair and peaches and a calendar with Jesus on the front. Usually Sodders wins that category, even though they're not a health food store either. And so I was pretty pleased that I
edged them out.
And I have, as much as I like Sodders, I've talked a little smack.
You have?
I've talked a little smack. There's a lot of plastic on those shelves.
Ooh, yes.
A lot of plastic.
But their mission isn't necessarily plastic free.
Right, exactly.
So,
so I sleep fine at night knowing that Sodders is doing great things and I wish them well. But there are times when someone will say, oh yeah, I got it at Sodders. And I'll be like, yeah, well, here you can get the same thing plastic free. Mm-hmm. So it's not smack, but it's a little competitive.
Yeah. Yeah, but not like you're not posting on your Instagram.
Look at all the plastic in Sodders. But I have done that with Wegmans.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I've called Wegmans out on their prices.
Yes, you have.
And I don't
in a reel.
Ooh,
in a reel.
I don't necessarily name names, but it's a recognizable store in our region. I've done it to Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. So I am not immune to the competitive.
Taking a swing. Do you think of it, though, as like swinging up?
I do.
You know what I mean?
I just
like
feel
Amazon can handle my criticism. It's
right.
not like a peer down the street from me.
That's true.
A small business trying to do good in the community. You know what I mean?
Right. Like living their dream, just trying to pay their bills too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think of Amazon or Michael's that way. And I don't know if you think of Wegmans that way or Whole Foods.
I don't. Mm-hmm. I don't. And there's a few shops that are my size in the area that I send people to all the time. I'm happy when people choose us for their errands that day, but I send people their way because even though we're in competition, I don't wish them to close. I wish them their own healthy, happy customer base, and we share some customers, and, we're all existing just fine.
This is something that Barrow asked me too when I was talking with her about it. She's like, we all support shop local campaigns. Mm-hmm. But is it harder to shop local in a store that you consider your competition? And I would have to admit that probably it is.
I don't frequently, and I say it's schedule related, but I don't frequently make it to some of the other sustainable shops around here, partly because we have similar inventory. So I feel like I don't necessarily need to get there as often, other than just visiting and saying, hey, and how's it going? And connecting. But I don't know if that's I don't like going in there because they're competitors.
Well, actually, no, because here's the flip side of it for me. Like, if I am in a neighboring community and there's a framer there, I'll go in and introduce myself.
Okay.
I'll say hello. There's certain things that only framers know and only framers understand. And I think
you can crack all your jokes.
All my hilarious framing jokes
that we would never
UV
understand.
Protection.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes there's a warmer reception than others, honest to God.
Yes.
And same with bookstores. I have visited many bookstores in the region and introduced myself. And sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, hey, how's it going? I follow you on Instagram or whatever.
Yes.
And other times it's very chilly.
Yes.
So
you wonder if you're their competition, like you're their, in a sense, Goliath.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because I've done that to myself too. Like I follow a lot of different shops that are similar to me around the world. Mm-hmm. And there are some shops that are so inspiring to me. And then there are other shops that, if I'm being honest, they rub me the wrong way. And like, it's a little competitive. Like, I think some of it is like just personality difference or aesthetic isn't my thing. But I think there's maybe, especially when I started and I felt like I had so little resources. I mean, there were a few when I first started that I was like, all these people have is money. Like, they can do whatever they want. They can make it look as cool as they want, and they can have all the branding they can ever dream of and make it look so cool because they can afford everything. And I know
there's a jealousy.
There was like a little like competitive jealousy there. But I think that as I've become more confident as a business owner, I don't really have that much more money, but I've become more confident now that I'm a little more established, and I can feel myself being able to be a little more gracious in those situations, and a little more inspired instead of jealous or competitive. And to be honest, some of the shops that I felt that way about don't exist anymore.
Yes.
And so then I tell myself, you had good horse sense. They weren't even that cool anyway, which isn't that healthy. But yeah, I think sometimes we have a tendency to like hone in on a particular shop far away or close by and be like, that's my nemesis.
Yes.
And you kind of build it up in your head.
Yes. I try to just look at it like, sort of like you're saying, I try to look at it as that's my aspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But bringing it back to the chili shop owners, not everyone is as perfect as you, Beth, and you might be someone's nemesis, and you might not be their aspiration yet. Because they probably don't have a podcast like ours.
Oh, I can hardly believe that.
I can hardly either, but yeah. It's possible. And I think about that. And I think sometimes the more established and the more you learn and the more put together you get, you can become the to somebody. Hopefully not that egregious. Okay, you can become the Michaels to somebody.
I'm going to do something different with the Washington Post, I'll tell you.
You got to get that under control. But yeah, I might become the Wegmans to someone who's just starting out, And then what do? I don't like that. I don't like that idea. But I can't control it.
Yeah, I think we had a listener talk about this idea, in fact, request an episode on the idea of when you kind of become the man.
Yeah.
And the more successful you are, the more
haters you get.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah. So maybe we'll
might get
chase
to
that
that
down as an episode in the future. To go back, though, to this idea that the more boutique retailers there are in a downtown, the better for everyone.
Yeah.
I sometimes think about that in terms of the wine industry where we are, which is so hypersaturated to my way of thinking. I don't know if there's still room in the market.
Who only have a sip.
I just feel like, how are all these wineries surviving and distinguishing themselves from their neighbors in a region that's just becoming more and more saturated with wineries?
Yeah.
And is it good for them? Because if I'm a wine connoisseur from California, I want to go to a region where there's a ton of wineries rather than, 10.
It's true.
What do you
and
think?
I think something that's very unique. My husband's a winemaker, so he's directly in the industry and he knows a lot of folks in the industry. We have a lot of friends that are in that period. We have a lot of friends that work actively in that industry. And I think our particular wine region, talking about competition, is very collaborative and kumbaya for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
Which is very sweet and a highlight. And actually, I know that some people have come here specifically for the collaboration and that communication and friendliness and the neighborhood vibe of this wine region. I know that it is unique, and I know that it's something that some people seek out specifically.
Like, here, borrow my tractor.
Right.
Yes.
Or you need this.
Yes.
Like, we got you. Call so-and-so. He had that piece of equipment or whatever it is. I think it's uniquely.
And then they get together, the winemakers, and and try each other's product and have dinners together. Like
it's so true.
It's kind of beautiful.
It really is beautiful, but it does make you wonder. They're all in competition for the same customer, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. When we had Joe Kennedy on from the Linden Social Club, I think, or maybe it was Shauna from Anora, which is a downtown restaurant. They were sort of talking about how microclimate came to the rescue when they had their flood. Mm-hmm. And I think Joe mentioned collaborating with both microclimate and
Anora.
Yes. And you see the kind of the bars downtown or the restaurants downtown working to help each other too. And I love a collaboration instead of a competition.
Yeah.
But I
it's
understand.
Easier said than done
yes,
sometimes.
I understand why that Pollyanna kind of situation might not be sustainable forever. And it depends on the personalities of the people running these places.
And not appealing always. I tend to be a little bit of a loner in my I think every small business owner is a little bit of a loner in a sense. Mm-hmm. I think everybody has that in them if you have your own business because you wanted to get out and be the boss. And I think sometimes that in me, like I'm a little off put by that Pollyanna, like, oh, let's do something together. And
we're doing a podcast together, by the way. But I just noticed.
And listen, I push through it. I work really hard to make sacrifices to make that happen. No. No, I do push myself to reach out and do a chili competition and reach out and do a Galentine's Day basket with a bunch of people, or I make myself do those things because I like them. They're warm and fuzzy. It's collaborative. It builds community. It helps us all. It gives us all a social media post to share. Yes. Saves us one day of content, but there are times when I'm not in that space where I'm like, it would just be easier if I just do this myself. Like, it takes organization to be community minded over competitive, over being competitive. So I feel like I fall somewhere in the middle of the juggling stores and, you know, that shop that is always just reaching out and giving of itself and giving of itself and giving of itself.
Yes.
Because I don't feel like I have the emotional energy or the just time in the day sometimes to be constantly organizing those community things.
Yes. As you know, I used to do a lot more of that than I do now, and had to really grab my focus and lasso it inward to the store. And I think my business is better because of it.
Right. So
yeah,
it feels like a weird place to land, but I think it's healthy. So maybe if you're listening and you're kind of grappling, I think a lot of new business owners can grapple with that a little bit, because you now have this community space and you're never going to have a shortage of people being like, oh, you should do this event. Oh, you could organize this. Oh, you could
join this board.
Join this board, be on this organization. You would be a really good person to be on speaking here and there. And there's no shortage of that, but like, I guess you can pick and choose.
Yes, and choose yourself first. I hate to sound really
cheesy and like
selfish too.
Yeah.
You know, like when I said it, it felt icky to me, because I do like to be a team player, and I do like to, you know, what's the analogy about the rising tide or all ships, blah, 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 blah. I believe that, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. We believe that.
But I think that I'm much better at economically supporting my neighbors with my money when I make more of it. And that's way more.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it sounds a little Mr. Potter of us, but I just feel the same way. So I feel like I land. It depends on the time of year. It depends on what's going on in my life. It depends on what's going on in my store. But every season is not a season to be collaborating and doing all this community service. And I guess how this comes back to competition is like putting yourself and your business and your vision first is going to give you an edge on juggling is fun. You don't have to get too caught up. I think you don't have to get too caught up in pointing out the discrepancies and their failings if you are putting the right amount of energy into your own, if you're minding your business.
Yeah. I do like to have blinders on a little bit to what other businesses are doing. But at the same time, I do like to know what the general industry is up to, say the framing industry, what's new.
How do you do that?
I just trade magazines, following other people online, you know.
Have you ever had to unfollow somebody online because it's just not healthy? Because of a competitive spirit? Because I have.
Okay. Well, I've unfollowed people because I hate them. Like, does that count? Does that answer your question?
Yes. And scene. We'll see you next time at TYFU Pod.
Well, you tell me who you unfollowed, not by name, but.
Well, here's the Instagram handle. No. No, but I think that, you know, bringing it back to shops that inspire versus shops that for some reason were just hitting me the wrong way and were inspiring jealousy or negativity or competitiveness in the wrong way.
Yeah.
It was, I will be the first to admit that, like, I wish them well. I'm unfollowing. I wish them well. This isn't feeding me in a good way. It's not inspiring me to go check out that product. I'm just creeping. I'm just spying at this point. And it's not healthy. It's not making me feel good about my business.
Yeah, ultimately, if it's not adding to your business,
right.
don't
and
do it.
Instead of just wallowing in that and building that person into a nemesis or an or a Michael, whatever that is, I try to just unfollow so that I don't see that person anymore. Because then when that person comes up in conversation, or if I meet them face to face, I don't wish anyone ill. I don't wish anyone's business to close unless they're real assholes, but I don't know them. I'm just creeping online. So it gives me the ability to be positive and supportive without the poison of whatever's wrong in my brain about that particular shop. I mean, sometimes you have good horse sense and there's something weird going on in a shop, or an owner is a dick and you're like, I just knew it. And that's validating. Yeah, I think the unfollow, unsubscribe is a powerful thing. I think it's wise to keep your friends close and your enemies closer, but not if keeping your enemies closer is
eating you alive.
You alive. And so I think that's an interesting line in the sand to draw.
Yeah, that is interesting, Marilla. And I'm glad that you're self-aware to know when to stop creeping on somebody.
Oh, I don't know when. It's usually after it's really rotting me. Yeah. But eventually I get there.
When we started this episode and you're like, oh, I think you're pretty competitive, I'm thinking to myself as we've been talking, yeah, I do want to be the best bookstore in the Finger Lakes.
Yeah.
And I do want to be the best frame shop in the Finger Lakes. And I definitely want those things. But I recognize that my bookstore is very unique. It's a different aesthetic.
Right.
You know, and my gift selection is really vibe specific. And so if somebody else considers another bookstore, another gift store to be the best, I can't it's
You
maybe
can't
it's
say
they're
no.
not my person.
Right,
You know,
they're
maybe
not your
this
people.
customer is not my person. So I don't have to take that personally. And yeah, a little bit I do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is just good old fashioned competitive nature.
I know I can't be all things to all customers. Though.
Right.
So I guess I need to just redefine the quote unquote best.
Yeah, for me, I usually bring it back to service.
Yeah.
That's a really good way for me to gas myself up, make myself feel the best. Is like, okay, somebody might come in and they're not going to buy anything. They might be super anti sustainability. I don't know.
The store's stupid. What episode was that? Bad reviews, I think.
Yeah. They might hate everything about my store, but we're going to be friends. And we're going to have a good experience right now as far as the service goes. If there's nothing here for you, we'll chat about what's next in your day and then you go on your way. And if nothing else, I think that for me, bringing it back to that service part and being like, okay, that person hopefully feels like they just had a pleasant experience.
Okay, well, let's hone in on that and try to leave something inspirational for the listener, right? Because
as we always do,
right, you are never, ever going to have the selection that Sodders does.
No.
You're never gonna.
No.
So you're never going to be the best at having the biggest selection. Right? But you
especially of Mennonite specific goods.
You're not going to sell Adirondack chairs, I don't think.
Not.
So you can be the best at service.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm never going to be the best, I suppose, at delivering the variety that Barnes & Noble can. Right?
Right.
But I can be the best at carefully curating and merchandising and giving my customer a certain kind of feeling when they come in the store. I can be the best at that.
You can be the best at that.
And maybe if you want to be the best at everything, this sense of futility is going to eat in at you.
Right.
Because you can't.
You can't. It's impossible.
And your closest competitor might be better at something than you are.
Wasn't this supposed to be inspiring?
It is inspiring. I'm very inspired. Who's not inspired?
You're probably not as good at this as your competitor. So get over it.
So make peace with it.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's so much sweeter than get over it. Get a grip, okay? Yeah, I think you're right. Great point. Incredible work. Good summation.
Is there anything else on this topic? I mean, I've worked through my list.
I've worked through my trauma. So I think we're good to put it to rest. I feel like I'm in a healthy space competitively, and I'm going to go look for some sustainable stationery.
I'll be right over to check it out.
Thanks, Matt.
All right.
We chat about the biz, it is the way it is. Thank you for understanding.
We sincerely thank you for understanding. Please visit us at tyfupod.com to learn more about the show, share prompt ideas, or tell us about your own small business experiences. We may include your story in a future episode. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at tyfupod or at tyfupod.com. Our theme music was composed by Marilla Gonzalez. The show is produced by Kelly Walker. Too bad for Kelly Walker. Our podcast is awful.
It really is.
For
God.
revealing our deep, dark secrets.